everyone, my name is Lexi and I'm going to be taking a pregnancy test today. The reason I'm doing this, and I'm starting a YouTube channel, which I don't know if anyone will follow, I don't really care if they do or not, is because ever since I got engaged, my fiance and I knew, my husband now, and I knew that right after we got married, we wanted to start trying to have a family. And so when we were engaged, I would go on YouTube and I would watch people do their pregnancy announcements or their gender reveals because it always makes me happy. You know, none of those videos are ever negative. That everyone's really excited. If they're not happy, they don't really post them online. So when I was flipping through them, I saw a woman taking a live pregnancy test, and I'd never watched one of those videos before. So I decided to watch it, and then that led to another video and then another video. And eventually I stumbled across this whole community on YouTube and on Instagram of women who are trying to get pregnant. And I really liked all the support and encouragement they were getting online. And don't get me wrong, I get that at home. I get that from my family and from my husband, and I love them. But it's really difficult to share these things when you know they're so emotionally invested in the result. Even though they don't pressure you, you pressure yourself because you know how badly they want to hear those words. So not even my husband knows I'm doing this. I'm just doing this because, again, I really liked the support system, and it's just a good place to vent without having to answer any of their questions back if I don't want to. Because sometimes when my mother-in-law desperately wants us to have a baby, whenever she asks a question, I'm like, we're just going to let things go naturally. And that is true. I'm a very traditional person. I worked very hard to make sure a baby did not come before the wedding. So now that we're married, we're not trying that hard like a lot of people say. We've just stopped with our preventative measures. We had been using condoms, and now we're not, and we're just kind of seeing how things go naturally. Now, I am watching my cycle, but that was long before we ever decided to start trying to get pregnant. I started watching my cycle right when we got engaged, so I could plan big events around my period, if that makes sense, because the first couple of days on my period, I am not a nice person. I don't like to go out. I am a sweatpants on the couch type of person. It's how I live my life for the first 2 to 3 days. And I really didn't want to plan wedding showers or bachelorette parties where I'd probably be wearing white and bleeding heavy red. So I started tracking it then. So I do know when I'm supposed to be ovulating. I don't know if I really am. We're not doing any of the ovulation tests yet. We're going to just let things roll naturally for a year. And if it doesn't work out, then we'll start going to more extensive measures of taking my body temperature, consulting doctors on what we're doing wrong, and then see that way. So we have only been married 2 weeks. Our wedding was on November 12th, and then we spent a week in Cancun for our honeymoon, which was awesome. And not only that, we spent a lot of our week in Cancun dedicating ourselves to the baby effort. I was fertile all that week, and I ovulated the Friday we were there according to my calendar, which I don't know which ones y'all use, but I've been using, just to track my period, the M Cycles app, which is this one right here. Don't know if it can focus on it really well. Ooh, that's an ad. Sorry. Hold on. See if I can get this thing to focus. There we go. Where the red is when you're supposed to be on your period, and then the purple is when you're fertile. So you can see here. Okay, so this is November, so this is this month. We got married right here on the 12th. We spent all this week in Cancun. Friday was supposed to be my ovulation day. And you can see where it has like the little pink dots underneath it. Those are actually hearts. And those are supposed to mark the days where we had been intimate. So you can see, trying to straighten this out, a lot of little dots while we were in Cancun. Okay, so according to this, my next period is in 8 days. I am currently 7 days DPO, which before I started watching these videos on YouTube, I didn't know what DPO was. I didn't know what TTC was. It really just kind of got me in a different mindset when thinking about trying to get pregnant, that I hadn't been open to before, and now I am, and we're just going to see how it goes. So I am 7 days DPO, which according to a lot of places, which for any of y'all who were like me don't know, that's days post-ovulation, which a lot of people say is too early to test. They don't see a result. But it is Saturday, and my husband, got to get used to that. My husband, Travis, works on Saturdays, so he's going to be out of the house all day. So it seemed like a good day to start this and do the video, because like I said, I'm not telling him, because this is just something I'm doing for myself. Maybe I'll tell him after we get pregnant, and he can kind of see the journey that I was on with him, but I just don't, not that I'm keeping it a secret for him, it's just some things you just want to have to yourself. So this is my thing, that and crocheting. So I'm going to be taking this easy at-home test, which, again, I don't know if that's focusing very well. There we go. I bought these off Amazon Prime for, I think, like $12 for a pack of 25 of these. They're just the little cheapies. And if I ever do have even the smallest notion that there is a line on there, I have a first response and a digital one under the cabinet, which I will take. But they're expensive, so I'm going to stick with the 12 for 25 pack until I see some type of result, or until I really, really think I'm pregnant. It's not that I don't think I'm pregnant now. There's a good possibility, but it's just that, again, it's really, really early to test. And this is our very first month trying. We did get a little lax in our birth control about 2 months before the wedding. So all throughout September and October, we were a little bit lax on our birth control, but we were still using it because I did not want to be pregnant on my honeymoon, because I knew I was going to be drinking. So here we go. I'm going to take this test. I have my sample right here in this lovely gold Solo cup, which is left over from my bridal shower. Shout out to my big sister Lorraine, who threw it for me. It was beautiful. She did an incredible job. She was the dark horse of the wedding. And I can say that because she's not going to watch this. Things you never say to your sister's face, just because, you want to keep them with low self-esteem. Just kidding. I love you, big sister. You probably will be the one person I show this. All right, so I'm going to dip. And I totally forgot how long I'm supposed to hold this in here, but I'm pretty sure, because I've taken these ones before, that it is 5 seconds. I'll hold it in for 10, just because, better safe than sorry. And here is the test before it goes through. Trying to see best way to get it in focus. There we go. So, oh my God. This is actually much more difficult than it looks to line things up with this little webcam here. Okay, so. Nope, wrong way. This way. There we go. All right, hold it here. Okay, so we've got the line here. So it's not supposed to be dipped in farther there. And then right here is where they'll show the lines. If they appear, should definitely have a control line, and then possibly another one. Again, I doubt, because I'm testing super early. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so I'm just going to put it over here. I'm not going to hide it, but I'm not looking at it. I have gotten really good, because I've taken a couple when we first ordered the test, just to kind of see how they work, how long I'm supposed to hold them in. And because they were so cheap, I didn't mind wasting a couple when I knew I wasn't pregnant. But there was a train of thought there, and I just completely lost it. But I've gotten really good at not watching the test, because I feel like when you do, because I've done this a lot in the past when I've had pregnancy scares, or when friends have pregnancy scares, a lot of watching it, just waiting to see what happens. And when you do that, you kind of imagine that you're seeing lines as the liquid goes through it. So I've learned to set it aside, not peek, and just wait your time. Normally, I'll take a test and I'll go clean something, and then I'll come back, because cleaning is just a really good way to distract myself. I'm not a very good housekeeper, as you can see by the state of my house behind me. But keep in mind that we did just get married 2 weeks ago. Then we were out of town for a week. And then we came back and jumped directly into Thanksgiving. So I don't know anyone who has a clean kitchen Thanksgiving week. It's impossible, just because you're cooking things every 20 minutes. So, it's actually on my list of things to do today is to clean my house a little bit because it is horrible even for my living standards. And I don't know how much I'm going to get done today because after this we are going to Christmas in the South, which is this great convention they have here. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, by the way, that they do downtown every year. And then it is Florida State game day, which the other reason I'm not telling my husband about this is because I love my husband very much. But on Florida State game day, he's dead to me. Okay, he's Florida, I'm Florida State. It's a mixed marriage. Normally we make it work, but today is not that day. So I might just edit out this whole part so you can't see me talking, just trying to take up this time. So a little bit about us. Like I said, we just got married. We haven't even gotten our wedding photos back yet. We've only gotten our sneak peek. But like I said, I'll probably edit this out because y'all probably don't want to see all this. There's not really a great face shot yet of me and my husband together from our wedding, but here's the only one. Like I said, we're still waiting for our wedding pictures. They just gave us sneak peeks, which was only like about 10 photos, and we're both in them, but we don't both have great face shots. But that's us. Okay. That's me. That is my husband. That is Travis. Hey, baby. And like I said, we just got married 2 weeks ago. Today is our 2-week anniversary. And then a week in Cancun, and then Thanksgiving. So our house is just horrible. And if you think this is bad, you should have seen our house the week before the wedding, because we've at least finally cleared out all the Amazon Prime boxes because we ordered all of our favors and gifts for our bridesmaids and groomsmen. We ordered a lot of it online. So every day it was just the postman dropping things off, and just cardboard boxes and bubble wrap just exploded everywhere. And I should have checked the time before I started talking, but I didn't, so I don't know how much time has passed. But I can see that all the liquid has gone through the test, but I'm not looking at it yet to see if there's a line. I can see from here that there's a control line, but I haven't looked for the smaller one. So I'm about to look. Before I do, I just want to say again that we've just stopped taking preventative measures. We have not dived all the way into the temperature and ovulation cycles and whatnot. And again, this is still really early to test, so I don't think I am. My husband thinks I am, but I think he just thinks that because he really wants me to be. Like, we were watching a show last night, and I started crying because, don't get me wrong, it was an emotional tearjerker moment. I wasn't crying at The Big Bang Theory or How I Met Your Mother. It was about this woman who was talking about how she lost her son. So I cried. Okay, I'm not really a big emotional person. It was kind of a joke at the wedding that they were all trying to make me cry. But there are certain things that do it. Okay, the movie Hook, Steel Magnolias, cry every time. Don't tell my family that, because then they'll always try to make me watch it. My sister's a big crier. Okay, so I think I've stalled enough. I'm going to go ahead and look. Then I'm going to go ahead and drop it because I'm clumsy. Yep, I see. Not even the faintest whisper of a line. Nope, nothing there. Okay, so I'm going to show you the test. Alright, there it is. Okay, that's a better shot right there. You can see the control line is coming in nice and dark right here. Okay, right. There's the control line. And then nothing after it. So, that, my friends. Ooh, I'm holding the urine tip. Even though it's my urine. Ew. That was unintentional. And I apologize if I keep looking over here. That's where my little screen is showing me. And this is my first video, so I'm getting used to it. So I'm just always like, you ever FaceTime somebody and you just look at yourself in square like, hey guys, what's up? Yeah. No, I'm totally looking at you. Totally. Okay. But yeah, that's a negative. Which is okay, because I didn't get my hopes up. I didn't think it would be positive. We took it really early. This is our first month trying. And why does it always seem that people who want to get pregnant always have to be patient for it, but a lot of people who don't want to be pregnant seem to get there really quickly. That's the other reason I'm starting this channel, is a bunch of friends of mine. I'm only the second person in my group of friends to want to get pregnant. I'm 27, so not that old, but old enough that most of my friends have kids. But to be perfectly honest, they were all mostly surprise babies. My sister has 2 children who were planned, but again, it's when I'm talking about people who are just so emotionally invested in what I say, because she really wants a niece or nephew, that I feel if I talk to her, I'm more concerned about her reactions than my own, which is just how I am and why I wanted to start a separate channel away from that. So I don't know if people are going to watch this. My whole point of starting this is if someone out there is trying to get pregnant like me, they have somebody they can empathize with, because I've really empathized with a lot of the women that I've seen posting. And I was talking about my friends. The majority of my friends have kids, but they were all surprises, and they all came along before they got married. And they all think I'm very judgmental. Maybe I am. I'm just very traditional. I've always wanted kids to come after the wedding. And I have a lot of friends who are like, well, we were using birth control, but there was a mistake, or we're one of the lucky 3%. I am sorry. Of my dozen friends who got pregnant, statistically speaking, you cannot all be part of that 3% who got unlucky, okay? Y'all were all using birth control wrong. And I've talked to a lot of you, and I know you were using birth control wrong, or you weren't using it at all. So, because of that, they don't really know what it's like to try and want to get pregnant. They never got to that stage. They just got pregnant beforehand. And their lives are wonderful. Their children are great. Their boyfriends/spouses are fantastic. And they're all happy. It all worked for them. But that's just not how I wanted to do it. So I was very vigilant in my birth control to make sure that I never got pregnant before I was ready to. So they are wonderful friends and a great support system, but they've never really been through this before. The one friend of mine who did plan her pregnancy got pregnant right after her wedding. She was married in May and she was pregnant by June. She got it the first try. So she knows what I'm going through, but she didn't go through it long enough to really empathize what I might end up going through. So this is just kind of a way for me to reach out to other people who are going through what I'm going through, doing what I'm doing. And I figured if I show a little love and support to them, maybe it might come back to me. I don't know. We'll find out. If not, then it's just a really great place for me to vent my frustrations and my emotions while we're trying to get pregnant. So that was my first pregnancy test. It was a negative. Had a feeling it would be. I'm not disappointed. But we'll do this again possibly next week. If my period's late, like I said, I'm doing, I think, 8 days. Or we might not do it again until next month. We shall see. All right. Thanks for watching.